Welcome back. And all right, and see, I can never fully get comfortable on a camera now that my brain is cognizant that I'm going to broadcast this on YouTube. But I'm trying my best. But yeah, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to, I can't really even say it's my channel. Welcome back to God's channel, because all of this is because of his prompting and what he wants me to do. But yeah, I'm trying to get more apt to like a point of the video, and rather than just like an update in my life or whatever. But I feel like these last few weeks have really been centered around the concept of forgiveness, and that's been really, really difficult because I've had some heavy traumas in my life that I think it's kind of easy to just be like, that person doesn't deserve forgiveness. But I've been kind of going back to the basics of like, what's the cross? What does the cross mean? What does that mean for everybody, not just me? And what does that look like in my life actively? And I'm pretty sure I briefly mentioned like some of the things that I have done, like the different conferences that I've went through, the 40-day fast. I kind of talked about like my family and stuff briefly, but I felt like one thing that I wanted to touch upon again was court. I'm going through this court battle, and it's a lot. It's really a testing of my faith. It's really a testing of like, how much do I love God's creation? How much do I love my neighbor? And I'm fighting for a final restraining order against an individual that did some things to me that I'd rather not fully disclose right now, but it's just been a lot. It's really, really been a lot. And his counsel is rude and a jerk, and he says a lot of inflammatory things. And I have to stay super composed, and and I feel like I did the soul care, and I've been relatively different since then. I've been more relaxed. I've been more sound-minded. And I really honestly will attest soul care to a lot of like the progress in my life, and obviously the ministry that flows in that ministry, like the God's ministry that flows through that. And it's really been kind of difficult because I have such vivid memories of like certain things that I've been through and certain actions that were done against me. And I feel like I forgive somebody. So one of the examples they gave in soul care was like, some of you guys are trying to forgive somebody with 5 cups when you have a lake's worth of unforgiveness. And so I've been going through gallons of unforgiveness, and I feel like I sat down the other day and I just basically forgave almost everybody I ever met in some way or another. I guess in the course of it all, there was a grievance in there that I didn't fully recognize as a grievance, because I was like, whatever, it's no big deal, like it is what it is, like, and I just kind of like had that mentality. But it was important to God. It was important to him for me to forgive everybody and not be bitter and to let it go. And so I really did. I took the time to let it go and really forgive people. But there's been a lot in that. There's been a lot in forgiving some of the things that people have done, and not necessarily to say that the action is okay, but to, I guess the way that the Lord framed it to me was that if that person was to give their life to Jesus right now and go to the cross and say, Lord, forgive me, and it was based on whether or not I forgave them, would I deny them access to the cross or not? And the way that he framed it that way for me like really helped me, because I know what the cross has done in my life, and I know that there's a lot of things that I've done that I struggled for a long time to forgive myself, and in some ways I'm still getting there. I had fought with like a lot of shame and a lot of guilt for some of the actions that I did in being traumatized and learning how to be a good human, and getting rid of a lot of the things that I had in my upbringing or that was modeled for me in my lifetime in one way or another. But it's really been a testing. It's really been a testing time, and I'm grateful. I am really, really grateful because I am so different. I am so much more loving. I'm so much more patient. I am kinder. But I guess, to be honest, like, I have more sorrow than I care to want. And I love the show The Chosen, and I really do. I attest to the maker. They did a great job, and I feel like it really honors Jesus. It really honors his ministry. It really honors who he is. And one of the lines was like when he was talking to Lazarus, and he was talking about, like, acquainted with grief and all those things. And that's kind of still been ringing with me. That's still been sitting with me, because I feel like this season of my life, the past maybe like season or two, has really taught me to get to know Jesus on like a friend level rather than just a savior. Like, the person that I call when I'm upset, the person that I call on when I'm lonely, the person that, like, I seek their face when I just want somebody to be by my side. And I feel like it's been really difficult, because going through court, you have to go through all the details. They have to ask, like, what did this person do, and how did they do it, and in what way? And you have to go through details that are really difficult. And now, mind you, the judge is a man, and the opposing counsel is a man, and the defendant is a man. And so it's been really difficult to, like, go through a lot of these memories. And in the beginning, I was being very hard-headed. And during soul care, there was a point of the deliverance where the lady said, pride. The Lord wants you to renounce pride. And I was like, pride? I feel like I've been doing really well on my pride, knocking my pride down. And I was confused, and I was like, Lord, what is it? What is it? And he told me in the courtroom. And I was being very prideful, because I had begged the person not to do what they had did to me. And they didn't stop. And so I guess for me, in my head, I just said to myself that they were never going to see my tears again. And I was angry in the courtroom when I gave my answers, when I was going back and forth with the opposing counsel. Like, it was just anger, a lot of anger. And I feel like the soul care kind of ripped all that off, because my last court date, I was just crying the whole time. And there was really a certain point where, after the day of court, like, I felt so much better, and I couldn't figure out why I felt so much better. And I guess what it was like tears, having people see my tears about this situation really helped me, because I feel as though that it almost gave this, like, I want you to see how hurt I am. I want you to see how much pain that this has caused me. I don't want you to see just this angry person, because I'm not an angry person. And I think that was really healing for me, because I struggled with unforgiveness for a while. And it was really hard. It was really, really hard. A few weeks back, I was listening to this song by Forrest Frank, Child of God, and it talks about how these people were trying to adopt a kid. And it talks about, like, what different things are you okay with your child having? And it was like disabilities or learning disabilities or something like that. And the guy that's singing over the Child of God soundtrack underneath, he goes, and I love this story, because it reminds me of how we're adopted into the kingdom of God, and how he talks about, like, how God chooses us. He chooses the person going back to their sin, like a dog going back to their own vomit. He chooses the person that's, like, either, like, for example, starving themselves, or, like, fornicating or masturbating, or, like, you know what I mean? Like, he chooses the person that's not as, like, fit, perfect on the paper. And I was listening to the song, and the Lord just, mind you, I've listened to this song probably about, I can't even tell you, hundreds of times, because I really do love it. I don't know why. There's something about that little soundtrack, about the jolt of, like, wow, like, God really loves us. Like, God really chose us with all our stuff. And it kind of just does give me this peace of mind. And I was listening to it a few months back. This was probably like in July. And This was before soul care, before we had went, me and my friend. It's like itchy right here, and I'm trying to figure out why. And I'm listening to the song, and the Lord just hits me. Do you believe in the cross? And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, of course I believe in the cross. What do you mean? And before I even really fully finished and trying to understand what he's talking about, he goes, do you believe in the cross for the abuser when you've been abused? And I'm like hit back, and now I'm still processing that question. He goes, do you believe in the cross for the rapist when you've been raped? And I started bawling my eyes, crying, because that's been one of the most difficult things this past season. I feel like I have historically, I should correct myself, I have historically been the type of person of like, it is what it is, this person's unsafe, move on, move away. But I feel like because of this season, because of this court case, I'm directly in some way or another tied to this person. And the opposing counsel asked me, he was like, how could you just forgive this person and move on? And like, what was it for you that allowed you to forgive them? And the question hit me sideways, and I was like, and I started crying, and I went, I'm still working on that. Like, I'm still working on the forgiveness. And I feel like I've finally gotten to a point where I've forgiven this person. But it's one of those things, like another memory comes up, keep forgiving. Another memory comes up, keep forgiving. Another grievance comes up, keep forgiving. I'm talking to somebody and the memory still stings, keep forgiving. And I just have to keep having that time with God to keep forgiving, keep forgiving, keep forgiving, keep forgiving. And it's been hard. It's been really hard because there's one part of my brain that says what this person did was terrible and disgusting and they don't deserve forgiveness and all that anger of Satan. And then you have one part that's like, I don't know, I guess this is the way that the Lord's broke it down for me, is like, what if that was the person's worst moment? What if that their actions was their low? And I am denying this person the cross because of the lowest moment in their life. And yes, I can sit here and say, what if they're always low? What if they've always been low in their life? But it's just like, I guess the way it works for me and it's helped me is like, there's been some really crappy times in my life, like really crap. Like I was a gremlin, to say the least. And I think the Lord helps me to conceptualize it like that, because if God was to judge me off of that low, I would have never received the cross as I did today. And I guess it's not so much that I forgive the person, like their actions. Like I don't forgive their actions, I forgive the person. And I think the reason I do that is because I love God so much for what he's done for me. And I know how much he's liberated me. I know how much he's saved me and how much he's just rewired my brain and my emotions. And I guess as painful as all this stuff has been, I never, ever in my life want to deny anybody the opportunity to receive Jesus as their Lord and Savior, to receive Christ, to receive forgiveness, because it's just not fair. It's not fair. Like, God is so beautiful and God is so good. Like, why wouldn't I want that person to receive that forgiveness from God, to pardon the sins? And the Lord was taking me through the scripture where it was like the one slave that was forgiven his debt by the master, and then he went up to the other slave and shook the slave and said, you owe me, pay back what you owe. And then that person went to jail for it. And the Lord has really been like, how much are you grateful for me forgiving you? Like, how much gratitude do you have? Because I've been walking around like, yeah, I'm grateful to God, but I haven't been cognizant of forgiving these people. Excuse me. And I feel like that's what the Lord's trying to tell me, is like, walk free, love, be forgiving, be not because it was acceptable, not because it was okay, but because I have forgiven you. And it's been a season. It's been a really long season. It's been a season. And I've just been really trying to dive into that, really trying to dive into forgiving the things I can't forget, and learning to like let the trauma and the pain and all the things kind of like to let it go as wholeheartedly as I can. Stop keeping grudges and holding them, and like, even though I don't like have it in my mind like that, but in a way, yeah. So it's been challenging, and it's been a season. I guess that's the best way I can put it. It's just been a season, lengthy, and I'm learning and I'm growing, and I'm really getting back to the basics on like, okay, who is God? Who is God to me? How does he love me? What does his love mean for me, and how much has it impacted me, and how much can it impact the lives of other people? How can I heal? How can I allow him to deliver me? Like, it's just been like a journey, and I was like so stressed out that I was like losing my hair. And obviously I dove into learning about my hair. Turns out I have curly hair, which is kind of cool, and taking care of it and what that means. And I feel like it's also been teaching me how to take care of myself, and what the enemy meant for evil, God meant for good. And I found out that there was some witchcraft on me, and there was like this curse on me about like all the possible physical, known and unknown manifestations of stress, which is like good to know that was there. Because once it broke, it was like I felt so much better. My hair started growing back, and I started feeling so much better. My self-esteem was really impacted, and I started to notice like all these little different things in my life, and I'm like, it's weird, you don't really notice it until it's like one day you're having a conversation with God, and it's like, oh, well, why didn't you tell me that before? Why didn't you tell me that before? But it's all right. It's okay. And yeah, so I feel like because of that, like I've been trying to take really good care of myself with like eating and drinking and everything in between, and getting out more, interacting more, setting boundaries away from the people that I really don't want to be around. And I think one of the biggest things that I'm learning is like there's a lot of toxicity. Excuse me. There's a lot of toxicity in the world, and a lot of toxic people and toxic habits. And I mean, it is what it is. Like, it's like, you can't change people. The only thing I can do is I can control myself. I can only control me. I can only control what I allow the Lord to do and what not to do. And I'm in this season where I really don't want to pull punches. Like, I really don't. Like, I want to go after the Lord as hard as possible, as much as possible, as hard as it is. And I'm in this season of isolations where, like, then the Lord told me to do this 100-day consecration. And I'm like, I'm on by myself most of the time. I stay to myself most of the time. And I'm going through all these different hard emotions, and a lot of transitions, a lot of different stuff in this season. And it's rough. It's rough. Like I used to say all the time, like, I never really get bored. I never get bored. I have always something to do. Like, and that's just kind of how it's been since I'm little. Like, I moved out at 18, moved in with my sister. I was going to work. I was going to school. And like, I had social life and friends. And so like, there was always something for me to do. And then there was a season where I didn't have work and school, but like, I was always interested in learning something, reading and growing and human interaction and just church and God. And it was just like, and granted, I still have a lot of those things down. Like, I'm reading and I'm growing and I'm developing. I'm getting to know myself in God and God in me and Christ in me and me in Christ. And, who the Holy Spirit is even, and how he operates, and what's his nature, what's his personality, and even my family. Like, I've been getting to know my family even more and in depth. But I'm bored. I am bored. Not all the time. Don't get me wrong. Like, let's say there's 24 hours in a day. I'll have like a good hour, maybe 2, where I'm bored. And it's been so weird. It's been so weird. I feel like for the first time in my life, I've been bored. And now, mind you, I have no social media. The Lord told me 100-day consecration. I'm not watching TV. I'm not watching TV, no movies, no nothing. He did give me permission. And I say permission, right? Because I have free will. I can do whatever I want to. But of course, he knows that I want to partner with him. So he was telling me, I don't mind if you watch The Chosen or any God-related things that are biblical based, but don't handicap yourself. Don't nitpick where you're watching a movie every day because you don't want to deal with something. Don't watch TV unnecessarily. And like, he's also been teaching me, like, if the video is purely for education, it's great to watch it. If it's purely for entertainment, probably stay away from it. And so there's that. I have been bored, and no social media, no TV. I've been interacting with people, but like, I kind of got to this point where like, I can really fine tune, okay, that's healthy, that's unhealthy. And a lot of people are unhealthy. And I really don't want that in my life. And I think because I don't want it in my life, it's been a really, really challenging thing for me. I think because some of it's my family, and I love my family. And you can't change the family that you're born in. You can't. And I feel like my family is in seasons of like growing and developing. But you know how like you see the effort that people are doing and you honor it and you respect it, but it's just still not what you need. And I feel like I've been incredibly patient with my family for such a long time. And but it's still not what I need. And I feel like the Lord put me in this season where he wants me to be close to my family in the sense of getting to know them and building relationships and stuff like that. And it's like really hard because I think the family dynamic that I have is abusive. But if I say that to anybody, I get a lot of projecting and comments and accusations that I'm judgmental and emotional and emotionally unstable, and it kind of almost makes you not want to bring it up, you know what I mean, and like just move in silence. And but it's like I feel like the Lord puts me in positions where he wants me to have these conversations with people around me, and it's really hard. It's really hard because I feel alone when I'm with them. I feel misunderstood. I feel rejected. I don't feel seen. I feel just like I'm alone in a crowded room sometimes, I guess. And that's not a great feeling. It's lonely, annoying, very annoying, very annoying. Because it's like, I think also there's another part of it too, right? It was like I spend all this time with God, and then I'm like, Lord, like, I love you, and I know you love me, and I just feel so seen and accepted and understood and so valued with you. And then I get around all these humans, my family, but also some other humans, like just humans in society, people that I know, people that I call them friends, but I don't know if they're like up there, like where they should be. And they don't treat me right. Like, it's rare for people to know how to treat me. And it's annoying. And I could put up with it, yeah. But like, do I want it in my life? No. I'm in a position in my life where I would much rather be alone than around abusive people, toxic people, people that mistreat me, people that mishandle me, people that want to normalize their bad behavior as a personality trait, and then tell me I'm not accepting them. Which I'm like, I'm accepting you. That's why you're in my life. But I'm not accepting your bad behavior. And if you're not going to correct the behavior, that's fine. It doesn't really matter to me. I just will remove myself from your life. I can't control anybody else, but I can control me. Let them do whatever they're going to do. Let them have their bad behavior. Let them have their abusing ways. but let me create boundaries. Let me do what I need to do to protect myself, my mind, my mental state. I feel like that's been my focus, my mind, my protecting my mind, protecting my faith. One of the biggest things that the Lord has told me is that I'm going to win this court case, and I have struggled so much to believe that, but I'm finally in this point where I'm like, all right, Lord, if that's the case, let it be done. Let it be done. Your will be done. Your kingdom come, like on earth as it is in heaven, God. Like, let it be done. And I feel good about it. I leave it to God. That's all I guess I could say. I feel good about trusting in the Lord. I feel good about knowing that He is going to do what He said He's going to do. He's a man of His word. And so yeah, I feel like that's just a little bit of that. And I feel like I've also been learning not to people please, and to, like, if I set a boundary, like I set the boundary, not feel bad how people feel about it or what they're going to paint me out to be. And it's been really tough because I feel like last season was a lot of mistreatment and people in my life. Like, it was shitty. It was fucking shitty. That's all I can say about that. And I feel like the Lord's bringing me into this new season, that the way He talks about it, it's going to be one that I find joy in, like a lot of joy. Like, my days will be filled with joy. And I see little bits of it. I see bits of it. I still have sorrow. And I don't know if the sorrow is necessarily going to go away, but it's maybe not going to be as heavy. But I actually, believe it or not, I enjoy the sorrow because I feel like it helps me. It brings me on my knees to the foot of the throne. It brings me desperation for God, and I feel like I would rather I would rather a heartbreak and desolation bring me closer to God than a happiness that will take me away from Him. And so it's been really nice, actually, because I am experiencing more of the Lord in different ways. And so that's good. And for a while, I felt like stuck in two seasons, like one of this fear of what was going to happen in the unknown in the future and everything else in between. And it was like faith of everything to come, and faith of what the Lord was telling me. And I'm like, dreams and visions and the Lord and prophecies and people telling me like stuff, confirming things for me. And I feel like I'm finally in the faith portion, and like I stick up for myself more. I'm more confident. I have more self-love and a better self-esteem, and it's been really good. And it's a daily battle. Because not a battle in like my self-love, I guess, but a battle in like maintaining and thriving, because Satan loves to be Satan, and Satan hates me, and that's fine. I understand that. But it helps me love God even more and fight for God even more. But I've been having a lot of dreams and visions about like a new love, I guess, that's like coming to my life, and the husband that the Lord wants for me, and the family that He wants for me, and a love that's God-given and made by Him, and that won't hurt me but will help me and heal me. And I know healing is like mine, but I really do have a portion of this belief that like the Lord heals me as much as He can, but then there's like healing done within a relationship. And so I see some of that. Some of the Lord has already done. Some of it I feel like will be done in a relationship, and I'm not really sure what that will look like, and I don't even know when or what. I just know that He's been preparing me to be a Proverbs 31 woman, and to be loving and kind and gentle with the world around me. And He's really teaching me a lot on like how to be, who to be, and how to be, like, I guess for lack of a better, not really lack of a better, like I guess the best way to put it is like He's teaching me to be surek. He's teaching me to be the God-given version of me, free from the pain, free from the trauma, free from the filters that the world has forced me to put on and to be and to act in. And it's exciting because I feel liberation. I feel like even the other day, like I had this circumstance where the enemy was really getting me, and I was hearing all the thoughts the enemy wanted me to accept, hearing all the thoughts he wanted me to agree with. And I just was like, the Lord reminded me, we all have choices. We have choices in this life, and I have free will, and I choose not to listen to the enemy. I choose to take back my power, to take back my authority, to take back my spirituality, to take back my self-esteem, my self-worth, my self-confidence, because it's in the inheritance given by God. And it's been really cool. It's been nice, and figuring out how to do this hair of mine actually has given me a lot of joy. And like figuring out these new routines and stuff like that. And I was like figuring out how to like do rice water and oatmeal mask, which is really, really good for my scalp. And then I just washed my hair today with apple cider vinegar, which was interesting because I never did that before. I had like a spray bottle and just like nudging it. And I don't know. Like I feel like having these curls and doing things and like learning makeup and it's funny because I do notice too, I talk so much about God that people really don't really know what to do with it all the time. And then I've been hitting up my friends like, oh, can you help me do my hair? Can you do my makeup? And I can help you with that. Like, yeah, I can do that. Oh, let me send you tips and tricks and all this stuff. And I feel like it's like, I don't know, like I'm learning to be a girl again, a woman again, outside of Christ in that way. Because like, yes, the Lord has the one given me all these ideas and stuff, but like, I feel like I got so used to connecting with community, with like talking about God and godly things and stuff like that, that I just didn't talk about movies and shows and the newest trend. And I don't talk about hair. I don't talk about nails. Like the only thing I really do for myself is my nails. Like I really don't do much of anything. And for a long time, I wasn't even brushing my hair. And so it's kind of nice actually to like put a lot of effort into myself and like give that time back to me and like eating right. And I see how it kind of circles in with God and everything. And it's been nice. It's been nice. And I just, I went up to, I traveled for a little bit with my family, and that was rough. I got into a fight with my sister, and I get it. We're all going through our own shit, but I really don't like when anybody's disrespectful to me, and that's a really big thing for me, and I am struggling on that. I'm struggling. But on the bright side, an opportunity for more patience and to learn how to set better boundaries and things like that. But it's been really, really good. It's been really, really good. And I just feel like there's been so much, but like I feel like because it really has been the Lord walking through it with me and holding my hand and teaching me through things and teaching me how to come to him in everything. Like even earlier today, I was like sitting on the couch and I was like, all right, God, like tell me about you. Like, tell me about you. Tell me about this. And in the midst of asking God about him, I started asking about other people. Like, help me have insight about this person. Help me love this person better. Help me have patience with this person. Like, give me insight. And it's actually pretty cool because, like, I feel like I've been asking the Lord lately, like, can you show me a season in my life that can help me understand this individual? And he's been doing it. And it's like, it's so interesting because I'll talk to the person and it's like, it's true. And that's always a confidence booster. And but yeah, like I was going through a lot. And I feel like the witchcraft thing definitely was getting to me because I was like sleeping a lot and I had like loss of appetite. I was losing my hair. Like a lot of people were like, not a lot of people. My dad said to me, he was like, it sounds like you're stressed out. And I'm like, I don't really feel stressed. Like that was the thing. I didn't really feel frustrated. But you saw these symptoms in my life. And I was curious too. I was mainly curious because my hair, like, I don't want to lose my hair. But yeah, I think my hair is so cute. So cute. Mainly because like I wasn't really taking care of it. So now that I'm taking care of it, it's like learning a new thing and you're excited and you're on that like a journey. And my biggest thing I've been trying to figure out is how I could do my hair in a short period of time. because I don't want to spend like 30-40 minutes. But another thing too, the Lord told me he wants me to do another 40-day fast, which I'm like, I was gonna put a gun to my head and go psh. But I'm not gonna do that because the 40-day fast the first time, it was tough. 40 days without food, it was tough. But there was so much spiritual there was so much spiritual goodness that I reaped. Right, I reaped because I mean, come on, like I got closer to God. I learned about Jesus. Like I feel like I was at the foot of his throne like every second of every day. Like the veil was super thin and I was just like feeling the Lord with me. And I was really dependent on the living water of God. And it was cool. It was really, really cool. And I've been having like moments lately because like I did the 40-day fast partially in somebody else's home, never in like my own home. And because I was like traveling, doing so many things, and like I wasn't really here. I was in multiple spots at one time, but like everybody saw it. Everybody saw me not eating, and everybody saw me like losing weight and being thin and all this stuff. And to see all the results in who I am as a person in my relationship with God, I am kind of excited to see what the 40 days will do moving forward. But I've just been having like a lot of dreams and visions, and like I had this one dream where I was walking down the aisle and the husband in the dream was crying, and like it was so beautiful. And my dad was walking next to me, and my dad has a limp. My dad had some physical things go on in his health, and he limps, and he was walking me down, and it was almost like this look my dad gave the person where it was like, I know that you'll take care of my daughter. And they were both crying, looking at each other. And I've been having a lot of dreams like that, a lot of dreams, and a lot of visions about it. And so it's really, really been good. And I just like, I have these moments where I realize where the Lord has taken me, like where he's delivered me from to where he has me now to where he's taking me. And it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice. Like there's heavy days. Of course, there's heavy days. I wake up heavy. I feel heavy. I'm sad. I'm tired. Just a lot of emotional at the same time. And it's like, I would love to plan, but it's not my plan. So I cannot plan. And I could ask God questions. I'm like, okay, what are you going to do? And some of it, he's like, oh, I'll let you know then. Some of it, he lets me know now, which I love and I really appreciate his information and insight on things. And it's really been a partnership with the Lord. And it's really been this journey. It's been this really big journey of like learning who God really is and how much he really loves me and how much I really love him. And but yeah, it's been good. And I feel like just like thinking about where the Lord's taking me in like 2 to 3 years from now has been a big thing. Like I've been getting dreams and visions about my life in the long term. And it kind of makes it easier for like now in the mundane and like going through the works and the things that are hard and like going forward and stuff. And it's nice. It's very, very nice. And I'm very happy and I'm excited. I think that's the word. I'm hopeful. I'm excited. I'm expectant. And it's really, really been a nice experience. And even some of my experiences in the home, like the other day I was worshiping and I feel like the Lord was just bringing me to my knees, and I was bringing me on my knees, and like in the middle of worship I had a lot of fear come to the surface, and I didn't even realize I was fearful. And the Lord asked me, what are you scared of? And I started shaking so bad, like a physical manifestation of fear. And I didn't even realize like I had this really big fear of not being enough, of like not being good enough for what he's called me to, not being good enough for living up to the expectation that the world had for me, but like that God has for me. And not being enough, like not having enough authority, not having enough faith, not having enough just belief and willpower and free will to walk this thing out. And I just started crying. Like, I just started crying because I was overwhelmed with this idea that I wasn't enough and I wasn't going to be enough, and fear of never being enough. And literally, like, I'm worshiping, and I'm like kind of like in a fetal position on the ground, just kind of like begging God to take it from me. And I felt like a warmth on my back of like a hand, like a warmth on my back. And in the same moment that I felt the warmth on my back, I felt like this rushing from my stomach, like it felt warm, and then it like rushed up my throat, and I ran to the trash can. I started throwing up, like bad. And I hear the Lord say, out from your belly, out from your belly, the fear must flee. Like something like that, or something like out from your belly, the fear must flee. And like, I'm still throwing up. And it was like, it's not like a lot. Well, it was enough to be. I had to take out the garbage. So anyway, start throwing up. And the Lord was just like, Samantha, let it go. Like, let it go. And it was really comforting to me that like there has been moments like that where the Lord will literally see something that I don't see. And it's almost like, here's where I am, here's where the Lord is. And the Lord reaches past me to get it, and it brings it to my attention so I can willingly let it go with his help, and with his authority, with his goodness, with his glory. And that was an experience, right? But like, it's been little stuff like that. Obviously, I'm not throwing up every time. I'm not. Disclosure. But it's been a journey. Like, the Lord has been like delivering me randomly. Like, that was a random morning. I'm worshiping, and I just feel the Lord and the will of God and just the presence of the Holy Spirit all at the same time. And there's been a lot of moments like that where like the Lord just is like, yep, a random Tuesday at 2 p.m. Let's deliver you from whatever that is. And I'm like, like, what? Like, this, it's been cool. It's been really cool. And I feel like it's not even like I want it. I want deliverance. I want healing. Don't get me wrong. But it's not even like I'm expectant. You know what I mean? Like, it's just randomly, I'm willing, I'm ready, I'm saying yes to God in worship, and the Lord is just like, bet, and deals with whatever it is. And so it's been nice. It's been nice. And I have this one experience that I kind of want. I write all them down. I write down my divine encounters, and I write down my dreams. And I've been documenting a lot more lately because I feel like keeping it all here, you forget. And it's nice to go back on the experience because it jolts the memory, and like you're in the moment all over again. And it's just absolutely beautiful. And this happened like a couple weeks ago. I was in my living room. I was worshiping, and I started praise dancing, actually. I really don't ever praise dance, but like I was praise dancing. And so I'm praise dancing on the living room floor. I leaned back into the presence of the Lord, and I just felt this feeling to just lay down. And I guess I'll read it to you. And okay, I'm in my living room worshiping and doing like praise dance, and I lean back into the presence of the Lord. As I'm laying on the floor, I see in the spirit a partition in the clouds, and it's the overwhelming brightness of the day. Like, I had my eyes closed, and all of a sudden I wasn't on earth anymore. I don't even know where I was. I felt like my body was here, but my spirit was somewhere else. And I'm laying on the ground, and I'm looking up at the sky, and I see the clouds make a circle. And as I'm looking, the clouds, they make a circle, and I see angels, like all different, like almost like rays of sunshine, but in every ray there's an angel coming down. And it's like a circle, and all I see at the top of the clouds, I see a huge throne chair. Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, wait. All I see is bright blue skies and angels in a circle surrounding me, like floating down from heaven. And at the top of the clouds, I see a huge throne chair, and it was huge. When I saw it, like, it was freaking huge. It was huge. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's gigantic. Now, mind you, that's from the sky. It was huge from the sky. And so I'm like, okay. And the Lord looks over, and I saw like, I don't really see the Lord look over. It was more like, I knew it was him because of the foot, the shoe. The shoe was like almost like half the size of the chair. And so, and the Lord looks over, and I began, honestly, this was so uncontrollable, and it was weird. I started uncontrollably speaking in tongues, but I knew what it meant. I knew what I was saying in a way. And all I kept asking the Lord was, take me home. take me home, take me home, take me home. I don't want to be here anymore. Nobody understands me. Nobody gets me. Like, I just feel so alone. Like, I feel so underappreciated and undervalued and unseen and just rejected and abandoned. And like, I was just begging the Lord to take me home. And I started speaking in tongues, asking the Lord to take me home, that I'm not happy here and that people are mean to me and no one understands me. And I started begging him to take me home. And he said to me, it's not my time yet. And he said to me, I want you to experience a love like mine on this earth before you come home. And somebody came to my mind. And he said, he will be ready to love you like me, and you will be ready to love him as well. In many ways, you already are, but just you're already ready. Just trust the process. And for like insider, what me and the Lord, like, this was like years ago when I first accepted Christ. Like, there were so many questions I had, so many different things, and he would tell me that a lot, like, just trust the process. So like, I'm at this point now, like, whenever I'm in a position of like, I don't know what the next step is, like, logically I know, but emotionally I have no idea what the next step is, and I don't even know how to feel about it. And the Lord will tell me, just trust the process. And I even have a cup, just trust it. So I started crying hard because a little head popped out. Oh my gosh, that was so cute too. It was like a throne chair, and right on the right side, it was a little head. I'm telling you, like, little head in comparison to God. And I saw a little head pop out from the edge of the clouds as the Lord spoke to me from the heavens. It was Jesus. This is my thought. He's so much smaller in comparison. As he peeked over, he jumped down, and I saw it. He floated down, and he jumps right in front of me. Now, mind you, he was like my size. And like, I'm not saying this is the size of Jesus. I'm just saying this was my experience, and this is how I experienced that moment. And I'm laying on the ground, and he's talking to me, and he spoke over me saying, for you will be persecuted for my name's sake, but you are blessed. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness. You have always been with me and in my hands since you were young. I had a photo of when I was like 5 years old come to my mind, and I saw him in the picture. And he explained to me, that's why you were hated since you were young, because you have always carried the heart of God. And it was like he was quoting. I heard like the quotation of it. Blessed are the pure of heart, for they shall see God. Remember? One day you will come with me, but it is not your time. Enjoy this earth while you can. Set as many captives free as you can, and love God with all your heart, all your mind, and all your soul. Sorry. He reached his hand up to me. And it's such a weird experience because I felt it. I felt him holding my hand, and he lifted me up off the ground. And Jesus helped me off the floor, and standing in front of me, it overwhelmed me. And it's true. So Jesus, there's something in my eye now. Come on, girl, work it out. And Jesus helped me off the ground. He lifted me up, and I was standing, and he was like this much taller than me or whatever. And like, I remember looking up at him, and immediately my whole body filled with shame. I don't think it was because of him. It's just because like the overwhelming, like, imagine seeing the sun, your eyes kind of like do this, but it was like the Son of God. And so I'm seeing Jesus in front of me, and instantly, I don't know if I could say I was filled with shame, but I was filled with like, I don't know, I'll just tell you like this. He stands in front of me, and I'm like, the presence, the minute it was the realization that the Son of Man was standing in front of me, my whole body literally lost all its power. I dropped to the floor, and I started crying uncontrollably. And I was just like, I'm not worthy. 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 I just remember feeling like, in comparison, it was just too overwhelmingly amazing. It was too good. It was too bright. It was too everything that God is. And I felt how much better he is. And I immediately fell to my knees in awe. I explained that I'm not worthy and I've never been. I don't understand why he chose me. I don't understand why me out of all the humans on the earth. I hate it here because no one loves me or understands me like you do. And the Lord began to say to me, my daughter, for I have always had my eyes on you. You have always been with me, and I chose you because of your heart. That's what I want, and that's what I've always wanted. And as I looked up, and this is true, I looked up and we met eyes with each other, and his eyes, oh my gosh, it was like fire. It was like rings of fire. Like rather than color, it was rings of fire. And it was like, it pierced me. I can't even explain it. It pierced me, and it like I was like took aback. Like I can't even look. Like it was so strong, and all I could remember was his right eye and the flame circling, like pierced my memory. And as I looked up, I met his eyes, and they shined like fire. The right eye burned into my memory, and it was like a piercing circle of flames in his pupils. His eye color was blue. That was just my thought. And immediately I started crying. He anointed my mind. Oh, and that's true. Because when his thing pierced my memory, I just put my head down and I just couldn't do it anymore. It was just so overwhelming. It's like, I don't know how to describe it. It was overwhelming. But I felt his hands on my head, and he anointed my mind, saying, I anoint your head with oil to have the mind of Christ. Your faith has made you well. Go in shalom. As he laid his hands on my mind, I felt the peace of God over my soul. Jesus kissed me on the forehead. That was so funny. Yeah, he did. Jesus kissed me on the forehead and then went back up to heaven. And that was interesting too, because it was like he did this, and I saw him come over and do that, kiss my forehead here, held his hand, and then kissed my forehead. And then he took a step back, and it was almost like this look, and I'm still take me home, take me with you, whatever. And it was almost like this look, I will see you again. And then he floated back up. And shortly after, all his angels went with him, and the clouds closed, and his angels followed, and then the clouds closed, and the skies returned to normal. And I kind of just what kind of experience is that in your living room? You know what I mean? But I will see God. I will. If it's the last thing I do, I'm going to try to run this race as best as I can, because I do want to see Jesus. One of my biggest fears, if you will, is hearing the Lord tell me, depart from me, for I never knew you. That's one of my biggest fears. All I want to hear from him is, well done. That he's proud of me, that I did a good job. Life is not easy. It's freaking hard. I had somebody tell me one time, don't you think Christianity is the easy way out? And I said, what? How do you figure? And they go, all you gotta do is read a book and follow what it tells you to do. And I said, you obviously never read the book and followed what it told you to do. Because it's not easy. It's easy to satisfy yourself. It's easy to follow your heart. It's easy to do whatever you want to do. It's hard to deny yourself. It's hard to pick up your cross daily. It's hard when everybody else is doing something and you're not. Even something as simple as social media. Social media is everywhere. I'm in the car. I have both my nephews on their phone watching some video, the passenger in the front, and then my mom is watching something. It's all the time, and I'm just there with me and my thoughts. No videos, no games, nothing. Just me and God. And At first it's hard. After a while it starts to get like peaceful, you know? Like when you get tempted to like maybe watch a show or like watch social media or something, or like to do something that like God doesn't want you to do, at least for me in my season right now. And which I probably won't go back, because honestly I've been so much at peace with like under consuming and like entertainment and social media and TV and stuff. But yeah, my gosh, like anyway, to finish off with that experience, like God is good, and like I'm really like, I really, really, really want to hear the Lord tell me, well done, my loyal and faithful servant. Like I really want him to acknowledge me, and like to be able to sit at the round table, to be able to walk up the staircase to heaven and to be invited in. I want to be able to see the streets of gold and joy and no sorrow. I want to be able to experience an eternity of his everlasting goodness and joy. And it's tough. It's so tough. It's really hard. But I have a feeling that I'm going to see him. I have a feeling. But I never get too comfortable with that feeling, because you never know when at the time or the hour when the Son of Man will come. You never know. You never know. And so, to conclude this video, love God with all your heart, all your mind, and all your soul. Seek first the kingdom of heaven and all his righteousness, and all shall be added on to you. Like that's the biggest thing I can say. I pray that whoever watches this, that you find the peace of God, that you find complete peace in the Lord, and that you're able to really allow the Lord to do what he needs to do with you. But as for me, please pray for me if you can. I will love to pray for anybody or with anybody. Like, look at it. I'm just super excited. I was not taking care of my hair at all, so now to be taking care of it, it's like, who's that girl? That's just, no, I'm kidding. I'm Samantha. But anyway, so yeah, shalom. I think it's like Baruch Hava Shebem Adonai or something like that, but as blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. So blessed are you looking for the Lord, and that wherever you go, may you carry the Lord with you. And yeah, bye. This dang button sucks.